Hi friends, it's Carolyn Zook here with C6 Stitch, and today it is Christmas Day, actually, December 25th, 2025, and I'm here to do a 2025 WIP Parade. I thought, what better way to celebrate Christmas than do a WIP Parade? So here we are. I am upstairs in my craft room. I'm in a different spot than I normally film, and you're probably seeing another view than if you've watched past WIP Parade. So I rearranged, still kind of working on it. I am facing a window, so there's a window directly in front of me. Before where the daybed is, it's full of pillows right now. we're in the process. But that's a daybed. That is where my desk used to be, and you would look at this wall with the paint samples. Paint samples are gone, by the way. Painted last summer. And then behind me is, which way? Is a closet. I took off the doors just so I could have easier access. So there's a closet, and that shelf is where all my WIPs are. So that's why I'm doing it up here. I currently have, I think, 65 WIPs, but through this process, I've tagged like maybe potentially 3 to let go of. We'll see. I'm going to try to do this kind of quickly so that, because I know you're busy and you have a lot going on and a lot of other WIP parades are going to be coming up. So I'm going to try to do this fairly quickly, but settle in because it'll still be probably at least an hour. I'm going to start with my countdown to 50 projects. So this is the brainchild of Melanie Watkins of Soulful Stitcher on Facebook. And she is turning 50 not this coming January, but the following January. I'm not sure if she's still able to do Countdown to 50, but this was her brainchild. And I am turning 50 in March of 2027. So she said I could tag along with her, which is great. And I'm really committing 2026 to getting as many of these projects done as I can. I have 22 done from when I started, which was basically 3 years before I turned 50. So whatever year that was. 2024? Last year? No. I mean, 3 minus 7 is 4. I guess it is almost the end of 2025. Anyway, I have about a year and 3 months left to finish 28 projects. Let's see if we can do it. So I thought I would start with the countdown to 50 because 4, 5. So everything on my countdown to 50 also includes my year of WIPs and my WIP Go calls. So I'll be incorporating year of WIPs and WIP Go into my countdown to 50, and then I'll put those away, and then we'll look at everything else. But there's not actually 50 projects on that I'm going to be showing you because some are already finished, like I said. So in this batch, I'm not going to show you 50 projects. Next batch, maybe. I'm going to show you a bunch of them. Anyway, so let's get in. These are the countdown to 50, and I will let you know if they are in year of WIPs and or WIP Go and or if they're new start. So I do mine in alphabetical order. That's just what makes sense to me. So that's how mine are stored. They're stored alphabetical order. But let's get into it. So the first one on Countdown to 50 will be a new start next year called Antique Cats and Crowns. I showed this by Shakespeare's Peddler. I showed that in my last Floss 2 video where I went over my new starts for 2026. So I'm not going to show that here. So the first one that I'm going to show you is a Rakova. This is by Evlia. This is on my year of WIPs as well. It's this piece. We got it at the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit in this past September. And I started it with my friend Amanda. And this is on, I have my note cards right here too. I started it in September. It's on 26 count Browns cloth. And let me show you where, and there's going to be zippers and all that because if I don't put them away right after I show them, it's going to be a big mess. And I really don't want to spend my Christmas deciphering that mess. Okay, so here's where we got to. So there are 3 total of those squares. So I have the first one done, starting on the second one, and then there's stuff in the center. I love this piece so much. So Countdown to 50 and Year of WIPs. So when it's on Year of WIPs, which is also a group, I should explain. It's also a group by Melanie Watkins. where I think we had to select 6 projects for 2026, and your goal is to finish half of them by the end of the year, half of whatever you select. So I'm selecting 10, and I will have to finish 5. Okay, next up is Bling Tree. You were supposed to see this one this month, but you didn't. This is just on Countdown to 50. This is by the Victoria Sampler. I think it's so pretty. I started this with Robin. So there's that. This is stitched on a 28 count artichoke linen. And I started this in December 2023. This linen is very stiff. And I haven't really worked on it a ton, but this is where we're at. So that'll get some love. It's a fairly fast stitch. There's a lot of pretty bling and sequins, so that might take a little bit of time, but it's a pretty quick stitch. So we'll see. Famous last words, right? After Bling Tree will be Bird Globetrotter, which will be a new start. And then Catnap, which will be a new start. And then the next one I'll show you is Cats and Cocoa, which was also started... no, it wasn't. It was started in October. It is by the Artsy Housewife who was at the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. This is what it looks like. I think it's so cute. This is cute. This one's going to need a lot of work to get it done. Cats and Cocoa is on my WIP Go board. So each of my WIP Go calls, this year I'm going to have to do between 2 and 3 hours. It's going to be a little loosey-goosey. Usually I do 3 hours, but with my teaching schedule changing and all that, it's going to be between 2 and 3, which is definitely doable. I usually get around like 2.5 hours on it. WIP Go is the brainchild of Jessie Marie, Jessie Marie Does Stuff. So this Cats and Cocoa started in October of this year. It is stitched on, here's where we got to, on a 32 count Hot Cocoa Lugana by Be Stitch Me. So we're working on the white. So that's where we got to. So it needs a little more work. But with WIP Go, each WIP Go piece is on my board. So I have 6 WIP Go pieces. They're on the board 4 times each, and they will get 4 days of work. So they'll get some good progress. So that's Cats and Cocoa. Next up, I think this is a favorite of a lot of yours, is Christmas Dinner. It is time to get this done. This is in a magazine. I think you can buy the separate chart now, but it's a little hard to find. This is by Stardust. So it's based off that painting. I started this in December of 2020. So it's time to get her done. Slipping and sliding. So Christmas Dinner is on my WIP Go board and on my Year of WIPs. Because why not? Which way do we go? So this is where we got to this year. This is stitched on 32 count white linen. It might be a smoky white. It says white linen on my notes, but it could be like vintage smoky white because there is a little bit of texture behind it. So this is where we're at. We're going to work on Santa's head. And then we have that background to finish up. So that'll get some love. Again, I was supposed to give this like 4 days this month, and it just didn't happen with Christmas gifts and all that coming out. So that is Christmas Dinner. Next up, after Christmas Dinner, is A Cozy Respite, which I started this year, December 2025. Not December, January 2025. Oh boy, I might need more coffee today. This was my New Year, New Start for this year. It's from the Keepsakes Calendar 2025. And it's designed by Susan Bates. And I just love it so much. I think it's so darling. Cozy Respite is not on anything, but we're just going to work and get it done. I'm stitching this on a 32 count mystery even weave. Might even be 28 count. Honestly, I don't know. I said 32 count, but I don't know. But this is where I got to this year. I love this piece. I haven't done any of the back stitching yet. So we're maybe about halfway. But yeah, I love it. But it looks kind of funny because there's no back stitch yet. This was on my WIP Go this year, but not next year. Okay, after Cozy Respite, we have the very fun Don't Drop the Potato by Dirty Annie's. So that's what this one looks like. I started this in September 1st of this year. And it's actually going quite fast. I think this was my 25/7 piece for this month. I have to write down what I'm stitching this on. But this is where I got to. So, I mean, just in 25 minutes a day for a month. And I know I didn't, if it's September, I know I didn't work on it every day. Because I had the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit and all that. So it's going pretty quick. And Don't Drop the Potato is on my WIP Go board. So I tried for the WIP Go board pieces, I tried to pick pieces that needed more work done on them. Because that will give me dedicated time. Jessie Marie has called the numbers for January, but I haven't even looked yet what was called. Okay, after Don't Drop the Potato is another old one. This is another one from 2020. I started September 1st, 2020. This is Elegant Pumpkins. It is in Just Cross Stitch magazine from September, October 2011. And this is what it looks like. Will look like. Yeah. Okay. So I have to leave this out. This is tricky because I'm working on two pieces in there. I'm stitching this on a 32 count willow green linen, which I think is the called for. And this is on my WIP Go for this year, for 2026, and on my year of WIPs to finish. We made good progress. It was on my WIP Go this year, and we made good progress. We got the whole back pumpkin done. So we have another pumpkin, and then there's like a smaller pumpkin in the front, and then I'm debating about what to do for the like tablescape. I may just put it in. So that is Elegant Pumpkins. Next up is another new start from this year. It's a Mill Hill kit. It's Frosty Mug. This is going to be on my year of WIPs. And I'm actually stitching this. Well, let me show you what it's going to look like. That would be helpful. It's so cute. There's 4 in this series of Winter Cheer. And I have all 4 of them. And this is the first one I'm stitching on. So that's what sorry about the glare. That's what the other 3 look like. So I'm actually stitching these on perforated paper because I have a finishing idea in my head. This is where we got to. Super cute. Lots of white stitching on white perforated paper. And like I said, that one I started just in November this year, and that's on my year of WIPs for next year. Okay, next up is Hello by Liz Matthews. Hello from Liz Matthews. It is Gifts from My Garden, which I started this year in May 1st. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm stitching this on a 32 count blush by Atomic Ranch. Ooh, it's really being washed out. It's a really pretty light pink. And this is where we got to. It looks so much prettier in person without it being washed out, but the lighting. But that, you get the idea anyway. So Gifts from My Garden. So we'll need to give that time. The ones that specifically aren't on my WIP Go board will need a, kind of a conscious effort, right, for me to remember to pull them out. Especially the ones that aren't on WIP Go or Year of WIPs will need a conscious effort. The next 2 pieces are going to be new starts. They're the Grand Old Flag pillow. I'm going to do 2 of them. That's how I had to meet my 50, was I had to put in 2 of them. So those will be new starts. Next up is Happy New Year. This is another Victoria sampler. And I've been working on this for a long time. Oh, well, this is a New Year, New Start in 2022. It feels like a long, I guess that is almost 4 years. So that's what it will look like. And I usually only work on this for like 25/7 during the month of January, and I don't really pull it out at other times. So this is on a 28 count smoky pearl linen. I believe this is the called for. It's very wrinkly. But here is where I got to. This is on my WIP Go and going to be on my Year of WIPs. So it's getting there. I think it's doable. So, very fun. That'll be good to get that one done. Especially because I'm doing, if you watched my last floss tube, I'm doing another New Year, New Start in 2026, also called New Year. So, there you go. Next up is, my things all fell down. So let's, okay, here we go. Better. All right, so this next one is called Hearts and Flowers. I started it in February of this year. It is from the February 2023 Just Cross Stitch magazine. You can see I have a bunch of stuff marked in here. And Hearts and Flowers will look like, you have your choice. You can do the vintage or the more modern. I am doing the vintage one. So it will look like that. And I'm stitching it on a 32 count vintage country mocha. And this isn't on anything else other than Countdown to 50. Okay, so let's take a look. I haven't looked at it since February. We got a ways to go, my friends. I'm going to be honest with you. Got the border done. Well, almost done. But the border matches up. So we just have those 3 little hearts to go over there. And then we can, there's a lot of white stitching on this piece. So, oops. Do you see the arrows? Wait. Here we go. I marked the arrows. See that? Smart. So it actually goes this way. And that, my friends, is why we do that. So just 3 little hearts, and then I can start working towards the interior on that one. So that will be fun to pull back out. And then next is Joy Banner, which was a piece my grandmother on my father's side started. And my aunt Gail, hi Pete, she held on to it for about 20 years thinking she would finish it. And then she sent it to me a while ago and said, I'm not going to work on it like I thought I was. Maybe you can work on it. So my grandmother had some stitches in. So I don't know when this was started, but I started working on it in July of this year. So I do know that. It's on an 11 count Kit Ada. Like, Grandma put the masking tape on and everything. And I think it goes this way. Between my grandmother and I, this is where we got to. Oh, there's a lot of mistakes. Some Grandma made, some I made. You know, that's fine. This is on my Year of WIPs to finish. But yeah, it's been fun. I've talked about this. My thing fell off. I talked about this a lot when I pulled it out. How it's tricky. It's tricky working on it, but I love working on a piece that my grandmother put some stitches in. So that's really special. Okay, so Joy Banner will be on my Year of WIPs, and then next is Kitty, which is also on my Year of WIPs, and you've seen this very recently because I'm currently working on it. It is by Nora Corbett. This is a gift from my friend Andrea. That's what it will look like. This is a stitched, I put this on a 32 count Arctic Ice by Mountain Air. I think it's really pretty with the blue, and you can see, this is my 25/7 piece for this month, and I'm not getting a ton done. I mean, it goes really fast, but you know, just again with Christmas and all that and wrapping and making gifts and all that. But you could see how the white of the kitty really kind of pops. So this is on my year of WIPs as well. Next one will be called Lavender. It's a new start, so I don't have that to show you. Then next is Lovely Laundry. This was started in August for Robin, Bird's Eye Stitcher's birthday. I found it in Cross Stitch Crazy. This is one that has several different names, to be honest with you. Little Helpers, I think, is the other name. It's by, oh, that's not it. It's a Peter Rabbit chart. Who's it by? Lucy Heaton. So this is what it will look like. And I'm stitching us on a 32 count fabric called Clouds by Atomic Ranch. And so I'm not doing the background. I'm doing the grass, but I'm not doing I don't think I'm doing the background. I think that's why I chose that fabric. Let's take a look. You know, August is a long time ago in human years, you know. So it'll go faster for me because I'm not doing the background. This is where I got to. And not doing that background saves me a lot of time. And I think it'll be fine. I can always change my mind if I get it done and be like, oh, it's missing something. But I don't think so. So that's where I got to. So it's going right along. Going right along. All right. And Lovely Laundry is on my year of WIPs. Next will be The Magic of Summer, which I love this piece. I know a lot of you love this piece too. I started The Magic of Summer. It's a Dimensions kit that was sent to me by Margaret. Oh, where's the picture? Here's the picture. This is what it will look like. And I'm making changes to it. I started it at at the beach retreat in April. And I'm going to be making changes on this chart to reflect the town that the beach retreat is in, which is my favorite town in Oregon, which is called Cannon Beach, for those of you who are familiar. I don't have the back stitching in yet, so like this is a flag. It just looks kind of funny, like because there's no back stitching yet. But like this is how far we got, and so it's kind of hard. It's being washed out because of the window, but oh, I'm gonna love this. I'm gonna love this so much. I love working on this, and I just love it. I need to change the bag it's in because Corey, who makes bags for Acorns and Threads, made a bag specially for the Cannon Beach retreat, and I got one, and I need to put it in that bag. Okay, so that's Magic of Summer. That's not on any other thing other than your Countdown to 50. The next one is Patriotic Bouquet, which is going to be a new start in February. And then after that is Peter Rabbit, which is a Beatrix Potter piece. It's from this 2021 calendar, which I love Beatrix Potter and Beatrix Potter. Is that right? Peter Rabbit. Yeah, Beatrix Potter. I was thinking it's not Harry Potter. Harry Potter came a little bit after me, so I'm more of a Beatrix Potter, but like, I got confused for a minute. I'm like, wait, that doesn't sound right, because you don't hear Beatrix Potter as much anymore as you do Harry Potter. So this is the one I'm starting with. I don't know. I might stitch all of them in this calendar, or at least like 3 or 4 of them, because I think they're all adorable. And they actually go pretty fast. And this is one that I've had in my kitted up. Oh, there's cat hair on it. Shocking. In my kitted up, like I've had the floss, I've had the fabric all kitted up, and so I pulled it out. I started this. Oops, it's caught on something. There we go. So this is where we got to. So it goes pretty quick. I mean, honestly, we have her apron, her head, and then Peter to do. I started this in July of this year. It's a 28 count antique white even weave. So I just think it's cute. I don't know what I'm going to do with them when I'm done, but I just think they're cute. Then the next one will be Pollinator's Garden, which is another new start. And then next for us is Spotted Cow. This is another Mill Hill kit, which I started earlier this year. I started this in June of this year. Isn't he precious? Precious. I'm stitching this on a 28 count antique white Lugana. And let me show you how far I got. A Spotted Cow, he's going to be on my Year of WIPs. I'm doing him on fabric, not the perforated paper. So here, look at that face. He's so cute. So I kind of have to go up and do the background because I started in the center on him, or her, and so I got to go back up into the background. But there you go. I said I was going to go through fast, and we're already at 25 minutes. Sorry, folks. I have a lot of WIPs, and I love them all. Well, some we might let go of. Not that one, though. So that's the Spotted Cow. We are almost done with Countdown to 50. Okay, next up is going to be a new start called A Sweet Springtime. It's by JBW Designs. And then the next, well, this is the last one to show you for now, is Velkommen, which I started in August of this year. This was a kit that my parents bought for me at a Scandinavian shop. There's a Scandinavian shop in the Twin Cities. It's called Ingebrigtsen's, if you are interested. Ingebrigtsen's, it's in Minneapolis. And so this is what it looks like. It says, "Welcome to our home" in Norwegian. And it came with everything. I'm changing out the fabric because I think it's 11 count that came in the fabric. Anyway, I'm stitching this. Oh boy, I don't know. I write it down. Yes. Touch of Yellow on 28 count linen in Touch of Yellow. And this is on WIP Go and my Year of WIP. So this is how far I got this year. There's a lot of stitching in this though. It's a lot. A lot of border. Like there's this border, which takes a little time. And then this border, but we got some letters in there anyway. So that's a good start. But we'll get good progress on that because it's on WIP Go at least. So there you go. All right. Let me pause you. I'm going to clean up the mess that I just threw everything down on the ground. Let me clean that up, and then I will go collect our first batch of regular WIPs that aren't going to be focused on for next year. Okay, I am back. It took longer than I anticipated. But for you, it's just been a second, so that's great. Okay, so first up is one that I think I'm going to UFO. I thought about it last year, and I decided not to, and I'm thinking about it again this year. This is One Down, Three Across by Long Dog. I like it. It's stitching fine. It's really pretty. I just don't know what I'm going to do with it when it's done. So the way I stitch is I don't necessarily stitch just for stitching's sake. Like I need to picture the piece either for a gift for somebody or hung up in my house or, fully finished in my house somewhere. And I just don't know what I would do with this one. And I mean, last year when I brought it out, I said, oh, I'm further along than I thought. I'll keep going. But I think, look, it's so pretty on this navy. This is like a navy, 28 count navy Lugana. So I don't think I'm going to keep going on this. So I think I'm going to UFO it because I'm just not drawn to it. And I didn't work on it all this year. I have a lot of winter and Christmas. And when did I start this? I started it in July of 2022. Started with Andrea. And I'm just using B5200 throughout. I think we're going to UFO it. I think that's card is going to go in the UFO pile. Okay, next oh my gosh, I packed these in here so I could get more in one batch. We're definitely not UFOing this one. This is 12 Days of Christmas. This is a Bothy Threads kit. I did not work on it this year. Usually I like to pull it out in December. I started this in November 2022, and I'm stitching it on a 28 count white Lugana because it is going to be full coverage. After I finish countdown to 50, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, well, I already have all my pieces in like ranked oldest to newest. And so I think I'm going to like start working through, I mean, the problem is I'm going to end up with like all full coverage pieces, but eventually this will get some dedicated time. But we got the first two done. And I love it. I love it so, so much. And you can imagine how beautiful it's going to be when it's all done. So, super excited about that. I just need more hours in the diary, my friends. So, 12 Days of Christmas. Sane. Okay. Next up is Advent Calendar, which you saw pretty recently, I think in November. This is by Crochet Agogo. This is what it will look like. And I'm stitching this on a Color and Cotton 32 count aged paper. I restarted this one at least 2, if not 3 times to get the right fabric. I know Kim, if you're watching, you got yours done and it's gorgeous. I started this in November 2023. This was this is on my WIP board for this year. I think it was a replacement for something. So it did get some dedicated time. I think I finished up one of them and got 3 new ones completely done, or 2 new ones completely done. But like there's 25 of them, right? And so I only have 8, 9, 10. I have 10. This will come out eventually, but I love working on this one too. So, and I have an idea for how I want to FFO it, right? So, stain. I said staying, not stain. Sometimes I don't enunciate very well. Okay, next up is Alpine Garden. It is my chatelaine. I'm stitching this on a 32 count summer khaki linen. I bought the whole kit from Chatelaine. This was started on March 22nd, which is my birthday in 2022. And so it's a birthday start. And I mean, I feel like I have a lot done when I look at it, but like for a chatelaine, I don't have much done at all. So this is what it looks like. I love that cabin in the woods. There's a bunch of over 1 stitching on 32 count, which is not my favorite, but this is meant to be a challenge piece, right? Like that's kind of what chatelaines are, at least for me. They're a little more challenging. And boy, have I been challenged with this. So this is where we're at. I love it. It's going to be gorgeous. I don't have the photo. I didn't show you a photo because I don't have one. So you'll just have to believe me that it's going to be gorgeous because it's a chatelaine. So I'm still in the center, which is still like all stitching, not like the beads and specialty stitches and all that. So, but that is definitely staying. So that's going to be an older one too, you know? And considering I've had it, like I really only give it like 4 days a year usually in March, and I don't know that it's even going to come out this year. But that's okay. Look, I found a random magnet from some project when I was cleaning up from the first batch, and I found a random floss. $7.25. I have no idea where that goes. We'll figure it out eventually, won't we? Oh, this next one, I love it so much. This was my birthday start for this year. It is called American Wildflowers by Thea Governor, and it's so pretty. Again, I think the picture's pretty, but like it just doesn't do it justice. I'm stitching it on a 32 count Mellow Stone by Atomic Ranch, and let's look. So it was a kit. I think this is my 25/7, so I don't have a ton done. But I love it so much. Love, 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 love. Yeah, March 1st of this year. So that will be fun. So a lot of these you're probably not going to see next year, to be honest with you. But who knows? Maybe I'll crank out 28 finishes in January and be like, now what am I going to do, you guys? All right, how many of you laughed out loud just then? Let me know. Okay, next up, oh, my nemesis. Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. Carriage House Samplings. This is what it looks like. I have ignored this baby. 2022 was the last year I put stitches into it. I know. But when I pull it out, it's like, I don't want to let it go. So this is what I mean. This is going to be like an older one. And so it's going to get some time and we're going to, I'm not going to let that go. And I know some of you are like, just finish it off there, which I could do. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I'm not ready to let it go. I'm not ready to let it go. So that's where we're at. This is on a 32 count vanilla latte by Stitch Me. I started it at the end of May in 2020. 2020 is when I started all these giant projects, and guess what? None of them are finished. If you hear Jack in the background, I don't know if you can hear him. He's fine. He's just, he's old. He's just meowing a lot. Okay. Okay, so that was Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. Oh, Autumn Montage. Okay, sorry. I got confused with my own note cards here. Autumn Montage, which you just saw very recently. Oh, I don't have the picture. The picture's downstairs. But you saw it recently. This is a Pain-Free Crafts, and it's artwork is by Janet Stever. It's charted by Pain-Free Crafts. I started this in September 2022. All these are in a 32 count white Lugana by Zweigart. This is where I'm at. So you saw that recently. These some of these big pieces, their bags, because they have so many floss colors, are so bulky that they take up a lot of space. Okay, so that's Autumn Montage. I got confused with Autumn Montage and Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. Okay, next up, oh my gosh, she's all slipped down again, is Blue Rhapsody. This is a project bag from Mary. She made it for me. This is Blue Rhapsody, which was a birthday start in 2023. This is what it looks like. I'm stitching this on a 32 count, just like a cream Lugana. And let's see where we're at. All right, we're making progress. I'm just using the called for, so that's where we're at. Oh, it's so pretty. Isn't it pretty? Oh, it's so pretty. Love, 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 love. I know. Not enough hours, you guys. Not enough hours. Okay. Next up is Camberley Sampler. This is a Rosewood Manor. You can count how many Rosewood Manors I have started. Please don't. I don't want to know. Camberley Sampler. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana. This one also is going to be so pretty. I started this on Valentine's Day in 2023. And this is where we're at here. I did work on this a little bit this year. Oh, so pretty. I'm going to miss these next year. That's okay. We got goals. We're going to stick to them. Unless we give up, which I'm not ready to give up yet. 28 finishes I have to do by March of 2027. Okay. Next up is one you have not seen. I haven't put stitches in this. It says 2023. I don't know if I have the picture. Oh, I do. It's a full coverage. It's a Heaven and Earth Designs artwork by Donna Gelsinger. It's called Cardinal Cottage. I started this in January of 2022. It's on an 18 count Ada. And that's where I'm at. Now, I would not choose 18 count Ada to stitch on again. And so I'm here. So the question is, do I restart it? Or do I just keep going? I don't want to let it go. I love it. I'm not going to let it go. I know I haven't worked on it in a while, but I don't want to UFO it. Do I restart it? How many hours do I have? Because see, I keep track of, on the back of my card, because, I track time, and so I track minutes. So, I have 2,920 minutes, which is like over 48 and a half hours. That's a lot to restart, isn't it? It's a lot to restart. Okay, next up, you've seen this all the time. This is Cat Alphabet. I'm so glad it's come out a lot this year. This is artwork by Irina Garmashova, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. We're in this first one. This is my gridiron grind piece for this year. So this is where we're at. 18 count Ada. I started this October 31st of 2021, and we're still on the first block. That's fine. That's fine. So that's what that looks like. And then, last of this batch, I just put in whatever I can fit in the box here, is Celtic Winter. This is by Lavender and Lace. This is generally what it will look like, but I'm doing a color conversion. I started this in 2023 with Pat from Pat Stitching on FlossTube. Pat, I don't know if you're still uploading. Mine will sort of look like that. I changed it to blues. Like you can see, there's a whole thing. There's a whole Facebook group that talks about changes and how to changes, and people are generous and upload their floss conversions and all that. So I kind of don't know what I'm doing, but I'm kind of following that. So this is a 28 count vintage smoky white. And I haven't worked on it, I don't think, since we started at Pat, but here's where I'm at. It goes surprisingly quick. I mean, this is like maybe 6 hours of work. So that's not bad. So that is Celtic Winter. All right. I'm going to pause again, clean up everything back, and I will be back for another. Okay, we are back. And first up, what is this one? Christmas at Hawthorne Hollow. This is another one that hasn't been touched since 2022 is the last time I put stitches in that. This is by Carriage House Samplings. This is what it will look like. I started this in July of 2020, of course. And I'm done with blocks 1 and 2. So that's something, right? That is something. And we started on block 3. So that's where I'm at. So making good progress in 5 years. You guys, it's funny. I like this one. I'm not letting this one go. I like the shape of it, that it's more of a square combined versus like the Autumn at Hawthorne Hollow, which is more of like a long, skinny thing. Like, I haven't done anything with Spring at Hawthorne Hollow, which I have finished because I just don't think I want to frame it. I think I might want to have it made into a bell pull, but we'll have to see. I haven't done anything with it. I think I'm gonna rip something out, frog something, and then restitch it. But anyway, okay. Next up is, man, this is an oldie. A Christmas Celebration. This is a Dimensions kit. This is what it will look like. I restarted this because, one, I didn't like the fabric, but mostly I restarted it. So this used to be my oldest WIP, but then I restarted it, so I upped. I put the new restart as the age. So this was from January 2023 on new fabric, 32 count antique white. Because this is the first thing when I got back into cross stitch that I bought, and I bought it off of Amazon, and I realized later that what I got was a counterfeit kit, and I didn't know enough then. So I rebought it from Dimensions, so it's legit, and I restarted it. I'm not as far as I was, but I hardly ever bring this in out either to work on, but I like it. I don't want to get rid of it. So there you go. That is a Christmas celebration. Oh, next one. I love this one so much. I started this with Robin in 2024. This is a big old one called Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. I'm sure you've seen this. My word. It's 435 by 363. It's huge. And when I tell you, I love working on this. I didn't work on it all this year. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Jackalope by Lapin Loops linen, or by Lapin Loops. It's a linen. Hold on, let me find my start in this bed sheet. Oh, it's right here. It's fine. This one was so addictive. Well, first of all, the colors are gorgeous. I'm doing all the called for, I think, but I'm doing 2 strands. So it calls for 1 strand. I'm doing 2 strands because I like the bright colors more than like the like more primitive lighter colors. Here, let me do this better. And this is so addictive because you're like, oh, I could just do this little motif. That's easy to do. Oh, I could just do this with just one more little motif. So you can see I have the B-skip not quite done yet, but this was my start in 2024, and I can't wait to get back to it. Like, that's almost a page. Like, it's a huge piece, but like, there's like 28 pages, right? But like, that's almost a page. Like, if you do a page a month, 629 minutes. Is that like, I can't do math in my head, you guys. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. 629. So that's like 10 and a half hours. Like, for almost a whole page. You could do that a month, right? And then you finish in 28 months, which is 2.5 years. That's not bad. I'm just saying. I'm just thinking ahead. Okay, next up is Crosshaven Sampler by Rosewood Manor. This was started this August for Robin's birthday. I love this one. I talked about how this marsh, there's a little marsh near where I grew up, and we would go there for school field trips for like science and stuff. And this reminds me a lot of that. I am stitching this on a 32 count Swiss Coffee by Color and Cotton. And I just can't wait to pull it back out. So here's where I got to. I love those colors. Love, 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 love. Oh, I almost dropped it. I use a lot. I have a lot of project bags, but I also like using these because they're just a little bit slimmer on the bookshelf, but they're slippery little suckers. Okay, so onto the D's. They're out of order. Okay, so next up is Death by Cross Stitch by Long Dog. That's what it will look like. I started this in May of 2020. I have not worked on this since 2022 also. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana. And I am using a color conversion. You'll see this when I pull out Hoity Toity too. It's the same colorway as I'm using for Hoity Toity, which Hoity Toity I'm using the colorway by Jan Hicks Creates. So this is where we're at. Not very far at all. And I have no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just pulling colors as I see, as I think will look good where they are. Whew. Donna, I know Donna, did she finish? Yeah, I think she finished her Death by Cross Stitch this year. So I do love it, and I do want to bring it back out. So we'll be working through some oldies coming up. You might ask, why in the world would you start new things? Because I can't say no to you people. That's why. Okay, next up is another Rosewood Manor. What is this, number 3, I think? This is Dreaming of Daisies, which, you know, daisies are my favorite flower. It's in my daisy project bag by Garan. This is what it will look like one day. I'm stitching this on Storm by Cross Wing Collection. It's a 32 count. And I love how everything looks on this light blue fabric. I mean, it's just dark enough that you can see the white and the creams, but it's not like super dark. So it feels like a light spring day when you would see daisies out and about. This one I started as a birthday start in March of 2022. Well, I did put a few stitches in this year. This is another one that like comes out, gets about 4 days, my birthday month, and then goes away. So we have a lot of old ones from like 2021, 2022. I think 2021 is looking pretty good, but 2022. Okay, next up. Oh, this is Hoity Toity. Is this right? No, we're missing. This is out. Oh, I know what that is. This is my floss. So I have one bag of floss for Death by Cross Stitch and Hoity Toity. So whichever one I'm working on, I just pull this bag of floss. And this is just, it's not a project. It's just floss. I was like, that's not where we're at. Look how big this, like, there's so much stuff in here. This is Eggs All Around by Glendon Place. Gary already finished his, and it's up on the wall. I have not. I only work on this 3 or 4 days around Easter. I'm stitching this on a 28 count antique white linen, and I started this at the end of March 2024. And this is where I'm at. There's tons of beads and tons of like Krynic in here, so that's where we're at, my friends. That is where we're at. Someday. Okay, this next one, I think I worked on it this year. I started this in 2023 for Ronnie's Sock It To Me sale. This is a stocking. It is a Dimensions Gold collection. It is called Enchanted Ornaments. It's so pretty. I'm stitching this on a light blue Lugana. I didn't use the kit fabric. Let's see which way is up. So I did pull it out for a few days at the end of November this year. So we got that ornament done. There's no back stitching in it, but we got it done. So that's something. And I started this December 2023. When they started, they're like, if you do X number of stitches each week or month, you'll have it done. And I'm like, not this gal. Okay. Next up is, this is G. Leger, 1898. This is by Reflex de Soie. That is what it will look like. I had to restart this one because we started this with Robin. We got the wrong size fabric. So we had to restart. I restarted this on September 2023 on a 32 count Lugana in weathered stone. And this is my first project. I've since used silks on other things, but this is my first project that I've used silks on. So this is where, this comes out during Sampler September. So this is where we're at. Not a ton of stitching on it, but fun nonetheless. And again, I'm trying, I like those brighter, more vibrant colors versus like the prim colors. So that is G. Leger. And then the last one from this batch, reach into my box here, and is Garden Sweetness. This is a Madame Lafitte piece. Garden Sweetness is the English name. This is what it's called in French. I started this April 1st of 2023 on a 32 count vintage blue Whisper linen. Oh, it's so pretty, you guys. Look at that. It's so pretty. So pretty. Okay. That's this batch, my friends. So I'm going to go collect the next batch. And don't want to get that fabric caught in the zipper. And I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So next up, this did come out this year. It comes out usually in October, is Halloween at Hawk Hollow. Also started in 2020 of May. I think this is a Mania start. This is what it will look like. I am on block number 5 over here. And again, this is stitched on a 32 count vanilla latte by Bestitch Me. And it's a big piece. This is where, whoops, this is where we're at. Boy, I'm struggling here. Hold on. There we go. So I am just kind of slowly working my way on that block right there. It's almost full coverage, that block, so it's not going very quickly. But progress is progress, right? I always fold my fabric when I put it in the bag. I always fold it so the stitches are inwards, so nothing gets caught on them and pulls them by accident. So that's why I'm a little bit of a mess, my friends. All right. Next up is Hoity Toity. This almost was on my countdown to 50, and then I was like, I can't. It's just too big, and there's too much I have to do. This is by Long Dog. This is what it will look like. But like I said, I am using Jan Hicks color conversion. This is also on a 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana. Oh, it's just, dare I say, I like this one even more than Death by Cross Stitch. I think it's that dark color that just really plays well with the pinks. Oh, I love it. So that's Hoity Toity. I started that in August of 2019. So this is one of the oldest ones. So this will you'll probably see it in 2027, like on a WIP Go board. I'll probably select like my 3 oldest WIPs and start working on them. That was kind of my plan for this year, or for 2026, before I realized that, I want to do Countdown to 50. I want to actually try to complete it. So that's what will be coming. Okay, this next one I started with my friend Jessie. Hi, Jessie, if you're watching. This is by Moho Stitches. It is called In the Library. I have not worked on it yet. We started it in December 2023. I have not worked on it since. I'm stitching this on a 32 count platinum linen, which we got together in Colorado. That's as far as I got. Pretty pathetic. But I like the piece, so I'm going to keep stitching on it. So, well, eventually. Eventually I will. It's called In the Library, so it's a good one for, like, if you have an eye that you need for, like, an acrostic or something. What's this? Oh, this is another one I think I'm going to let go. Miss Dina, I am so sorry. I know we started this for your birthday in 2022. It's Teresa Kogut's Let Love Rain. I just am not drawn to it anymore. So this is what it would have looked like. I already changed the colors because I didn't love the browns. This is stitched on a 32 count cream linen. It's a huge piece, so I could use this piece. Yeah, I'm not very far at all. Like, that's as far as I've gotten since 2022. I just am not drawn to it. I could easily frog that. And this is a huge, I mean, it's got to be half a yard of fabric, and it's cream, so it would go with anything would look good on it pretty much. So I'm sorry, Miss Dina. I love you, but I don't love this piece. And I've been watching your progress on your piece, and it's gorgeous. So I'm going to bid adieu to Let Love Rain. Put that card up there. Okay. next up, so we're now jumping to the O's, so that's good. We're getting there. First up is One Nation by Bygone Stitches, which you've seen. I started this on July 4th of 2023, and I'm stitching this on a 32 count French blue, ironically, by Fabrics by Stephanie. I just think it's funny that it's French blue and it's an American piece. I don't know why. So this is where we're at. We have one more row of stars, I think, and then we can start in on the States. I'm eating my vegetables before I get to dessert is kind of how I see it. So this, I don't know. Usually I bring this out when, like when there's like a national holiday or something, like a patriotic holiday. I don't think I'm doing that in 2026. Like that probably won't see much love then. Okay, next up is Parkington Manor, another Rosewood Manor. Started for Robin's birthday this August. Oh, so pretty. Blue is my favorite color, and this is like more silvery blue, but it's still so pretty. I'm stitching this on a 32 count platinum, I guess it's called. And I just have the smallest start, but look at that. Oh, those greens and blues. It's going to be gorgeous. Love, 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 love it. So much. Okay, next is another new start from this year, which is in my Elegant Pumpkins magazine. It's from the same magazine as Elegant Pumpkins. That feels like a long time ago. So it's from Just Cross Stitch, September, October 2011. It's called Peekaboo, and Kim started this with me, I think. Did you actually start it, Kim? I know we were playing around with the fabric. I had a really dark fabric, but then I'm like, I don't want to do it on that. So instead I'm stitching on a 32 count Spellbound by Under the Sea. And let's take a little look-see. Yeah, it's dark enough that, it's spooky enough. Oh, here we go. So we just got some smoke from the pumpkin, and then the very top of the ghost. Just got a little bit of work this year. I started in October. So this will be fun to pull out in October each year. Okay. Oh, next up, if you watched Robin's Bird's Eye Stitcher, her WIP Parade, she showed this, and this is Princess Ileana by Mirabilia. That's what it will look like. I restarted this. Did I restart it? Pretty sure I restarted it. Maybe not. I don't have in my notes that I did, so maybe I didn't. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Parthenon by Color and Cotton. And I told Robin that 2027 we will pull her out and get some good work on her. So this is where I'm at. These colors are so... I did restart it because I had it on this crazy like ballroom fabric, and it was too big. I didn't like it. But that's where we're at. I have 2 or 3 Mirabilias, like fancy ladies, and I have not finished one of them yet. But charts, I own a ton of them because, it's like one of those things, like if they go out of print, they can be really hard to find, like if you want to stitch it. So anything I think I might even remotely want to stitch, that's more of a collection for me than anything. Okay, next up is Purple Rain, in my bag by my friend Doris. This is on 18 count hand-dyed Ada by EJ. Thank you very much. I have not worked on this. I know Candy is working. Oh, look, I even have a string. Oh my gosh, this is pathetic. I have not pulled it out. It's just one of those things. Like, I did work on it in 2024. I don't want to let it go though because I love it. And do I even have? Oh yeah, here's the picture for you. That's what it will look like. I have very little done on this. But let me show it to you anyway. Started this June of 2022. That's it. That's all I have. So, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. This one uses Anchor floss. So that's fun. Okay, so that's Purple Rain. Now on to, oh, here we go. LMNOPQ. Q comes after P. Just in case you were wondering. My next project is Quaker Christmas 2 Songs of the Season. This is by Bygone Stitches. I was going to work on this more this year than I did. I'm stitching this on a 32 count vintage smoky white linen. And I haven't put any more in than when you saw the last. I know sometimes people watch WIP Parades and they aren't necessarily regular watchers. But anyway, this is where I'm at. This year I got just this outline done. That's all I got done on this one. This is a huge one. I started this January of 2024. Oops. It's going to be a biggie, but it's going to be so pretty. I'm using Victoria Clayton Silks reds for that, and I'm doing it all in red, which is not the called for, but I'm just doing everything in red. So that's Quaker Christmas. Next is another Mirabilia that I started with Gary. I have not worked on it. In 2023, I put 40 minutes in. I started, oh my gosh, did we really start this in June of 2020? Anyway, that's what she's going to look like. I think she's beautiful. I love it. I'm stitching this on 32 count Neverland C by Fabrics by Stephanie. Oh, I couldn't find the project at first. Let's see, how far are we? And I still have to look for my directional arrow. Yeah. All right. This is as far as we are. So this is another one. This and Hoity Toity, because this was started in June of 2020. You'll see like a lot on, because there's no reason why this isn't A, further along, B, done. Gary's is long done. So that is that. And then going into the S's. So this is the last one for this batch, and then we'll have one more batch and we'll be all finished. This is Sampler au Fleur. I started with this with Sarah from Stitching Mommy. This is by Jardin Privé. I think it's so pretty with those colors. I started this February 1st of 2024, and I'm stitching this on a 32 count Sandy Bottom by Fortnite Fabrics, who are no longer in business, which I'm very sad about. But that's where I'm at. Really, really pretty. I love those colors. Okay. So I will go get the last batch and be right back. Last batch here. So first up is another one that I started and didn't put much work into. I think I was coerced to start it by somebody. This is Santa Sleigh by Nora Corbett. Oh, it's so pretty. I started this in January of 2024, and I'm stitching this on a 28 count Ice Blue Lugana. And where are we? There we go. That's where we're at. Can't really tell much of anything from that. But that's where we're at with Santa's sleigh. I have all the reindeer as well that go with it. And I have the fabric. So we'll see if we actually do all of that or not. Yeah, I didn't work on that at all this year. Okay, next up is in my Nebraska project bag, because this one reminds me of growing up in Nebraska. This is a dimensions kit. It's called Scenic Farm, and that's what it will look like. This was I restarted this one. I started it and then I restarted it twice. So really it's been started 3 times. I'm now stitching this on a 32 count Moonstone by Color and Cotton. This is a birthday start originally. And I restarted, the most recent date is June of 2023. So this is where we're at. And this usually comes out during my birthday month. Again, 2026, these will probably not be coming out. But I love it so much. It's so pretty. My chair squeaks. You can hear that squeaking every time I move in this chair. I don't particularly love the chair I'm sitting in. So I will be replacing it. Okay. Next up is Spring House. This is by Hello by Liz Matthews. And this one was a gift from my friend Andrea. This is what it will look like. So pretty. So there's 2 different fabrics. The top one is 32 count Night Sky by Fiber on a Whim, and the bottom is 32 count Cypress by Fiber on a Whim. And I have not worked on it. I started this May 1st of 2024. And I don't have much to show. Oh, so pretty. I love how that, I just love this color of fabric. So that is where I'm at. I would like to get more done on this piece. Like all of it. So that is called Spring House. Okay, next up is Spring Montage. Again, I unfortunately don't think I have I forgot to pull the picture. But Spring Montage, you've seen it, or you will see it again. This is artwork by Janet Seaver, charted by Pain Free Crafts. These will definitely still be coming out in 2026, even getting more time. So look at that. We're almost done with that first block. You can see where that line starts going downward. That's the end of the first block. So that's a good goal for this coming spring. I started this, March 20th, 2022. And I work on these, when they're in season, I give them Seasonal Sunday. This is kind of what started Seasonal Sunday for me. Every Sunday, just work on a seasonal piece. And it's always these. Okay, next up is Summer Montage. Same deal, 32 count white Lugana, artwork by Janet Seaver, charted by Pain Free Crafts. Don't have the picture to show you. But this is where we got to this summer. So we're working on the second block, Watermelon. So that is fun. Fun. So I'm excited to give these a little more work in 2026 than I have been. This one was started June 2020. I think I started these all on the first day of the season in 2022. Okay, next up. This is another one I'm thinking of. Not necessarily UFO, kind of UFOing. Okay, I started this with Robin. Sorry, Robin. This is a Treasure Time. It's a Dimensions kit. This is what it will look like. I like it. I'm not gonna get rid of it. What I might do is because I'm gonna want to restart it anyway. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana. This is all I have done since December of 2022. I just don't pull for it. I have decided that I know there's some blends and stuff. I want to do full cross on the Dimensions kit. I don't want to follow the Dimensions instructions. Because I don't, for me, stitching mostly should be relaxing. I mean, sometimes I feel like I want to challenge myself, but mostly I want to relax. And relaxing for me is 2/2, not having to keep looking back at the directions and that type of thing. So I'm going to do this 2/2. I'm going to restart it. But I think what I'm going to do, because I'm just not in a place to be working on it and I don't have much done, I'm going to unkit it, put it in my to be started, like kitted projects ready to go. And so I think that's what we're going to do. So this will go out of the WIP count. Look at that. That's really the secret sauce there, right? Okay. Next up is Twisted Band Sampler by Northern Expressions. And did it get any work this year? It got a little bit of, it got like a little over an hour. This usually comes back out in Sampler September, and this year it just didn't really happen. I'm stitching this on a 32 count coloring cotton. I don't know the color. I don't know why I don't know the color, but I don't have the color written down anywhere. So this is where we're at on this one. Not very far. I started this in July of 2022. So I love it. This one is a good challenge for me because I am learning specialty stitches on the diagonal, which for some reason is harder for my brain. But, you know, I have enough challenge pieces. I don't need to be challenged by the dimensions too. Okay. Next up is Winter Rose Manor. I want to look at this one because this one may be on the chopping block as well. Okay, it's so pretty though. It's by With a Needle and Threads, Brenda Gervais. It is so pretty. I just don't know. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Tuscan by Color and Cotton. It's very pretty fabric. Let's see how far we are. You guys, come on now. Are you kidding me? Ah, that's as far as I am. I started this in December 2022 and have not worked. It says 3 hours of work on it, and I have not worked on it since. This might be another, like, let's unkit it. Like, I'm not going to, like, get rid of it. But I think I'm going to unkit it. I have all the Vicki Clayton soaks. I think it's pretty. I'm hesitant, but if I only have that much done, I think I'm just going to put it in my kitted. I'm not going to rip the stitches out because I like where it's at. We'll put the card in with it. And we're going to take it officially out of the WIP count. See how I did that? Okay. Gonzo. Okay, next up is we're out of order. Okay, let's just do this. I have Scandinavia, which I had out of order for some reason. This is by PDX Glow. You've seen this recently. I'm literally working on it this week. That's why the card was elsewhere. I started this last year, November 30th, 2024, and it's just on a 32 count white Lugana, and this is where I'm at. So you get a little sneak peek. So this week I didn't stitch last night, which was Christmas Eve, because I was busy wrapping gifts and all that, but like right in here is where it worked. But I'm hoping to work on this tonight and Friday night as well. So that is Scandinavia. So that was out of order. And I'm missing Warm Welcome. I can't find Warm Welcome. And I don't really want to pause again. So Warm Welcome by Joanne Aston. You saw this recently. This was a birthday start. You did see it recently. I got a lot of work done on it. It's a cat in an archway with flowers, and I don't know where it is. Maybe it's in a drawer downstairs. Anyway, I'm not sure. So let's move on. You have seen that one recently, though. So next up is With the Needle by Lila Studio. With the Needle 2, I guess. This is what it will look like. I'm stitching this on a 32 count vintage Sahara. I started this at StitchCon 2022 with Jan Hicks, which I think she UFO'd hers. June 2022. in case I didn't say that. And this is where we're at. So that border is done, like that's as long as it's going to be. And then that first block is done, and then I'm starting in on the alphabet down below it. And this usually comes out in for Sampler September, but again, probably won't this year. But I like that one. It reminds me a little bit of Harbor Haven by the Bay. Okay, next up is Winter Montage, which I'm currently working on. This is artwork. See, I have the chart for this one. Artwork by Janet Sievert, charted by Pain Free Crafts, and I'm up here in this first block. And that's where I'm at. So again, you can see where this one, this block ends here. And so this is what we're trying to get done this winter. Okay. And last but not least, this is A Year in Stitches by the Victoria Sampler. This was a freebie. I don't know if I have a, yeah, I guess you can kind of see that. You have to pay for it now. It's a choose your own color type thing. Oh, I have another fabric in here. I wonder why. Anyway, I started this January 1st for New Year, New Start of 2024. You guys, come on now. This is where I'm at. This is January. That's where I'm at. So, after, this is a 28 count Dove Gray that I'm stitching it on. Did I restart it? Is that why this other fabric is in here? Oh, I did restart it. That's better. Okay, this is a 28 count mystery fabric by Be Stitch Me that was gifted to me by Jessie Member. Remember. Okay, so that's that. So let's take this out because that's just going to confuse me. Okay, see, it's better progress. But I love that one. I think, Robin, did you start that with me? I didn't see it in your WIP Parade, so maybe not. That one will be one that, like in 2027, maybe we'll do like we did with the Biddy Bowls, that we'll do like one a month until it's done, because there's no reason why that one is languishing either. So if you are still here, thank you so much for watching with me. I hope you enjoyed. It was so fun to go through and touch all the projects, even if I haven't worked on them in a little bit. But I'm going to go get some lunch now while this is, while I'm putting it all together and it's uploading and all that good stuff. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.